Hi everyone, I'm Angela and welcome to Epic Initiator. This is my YouTube channel. And this is my second video on everybody's favorite topic, the truth. Truth and fear. What we all love to talk about over a nice cup of joe. Yeah, really, today's video is about discovery.
You are Columbus and I am America. Discover me, Ramon, just discover me.
It's about looking at fear, it's about looking at the truth and getting curious.
And I could use my old lady voice in this video, but I'm not gonna do that.
If you really want to make changes in your life, you have to go looking for the truth. You gotta go find it. It's not gonna come find you. You can't sit in your closet and just be like, gosh, I sure hope that someday somebody opens this closet door and finds me here and tells me what the truth of life is or what I'm supposed to do with my life. About 50% of the population has an open emotional center in human design. And if you're not familiar with human design, I'll have a video on that one because everyone loves to hear about human design. It's very interesting. But that means that you're not comfortable with confrontation. It's not something that you enjoy in the least. In fact, you will always try to run from confrontation because it's so uncomfortable. And you might not want to know the truth at times. You will be like,
I can't hear. Nope, can't hear. What?
don't really want to know the truth about this. And if that's the case for you, at that time, you're just not ready. But if you can be brave enough and you can have the courage to confront the truth for what it is, then you can start to make changes. Pain is not optional, but suffering is. We're all really good at lying to ourselves, especially when it's something we don't want to deal with. We become masterminds at smoke and mirrors, just going around in circles. I want this, I don't want this, I want this. So it's a really good idea to get clarity and to seek the truth. And honestly, one of the ways that I went about finding the truth when it came to making some of these large changes in my life was simply asking. Asking the universe, asking my soul, asking, just asking the question, what is the truth here? And I've found that if you do ask, you'll get answers. So if you're ready for some answers, ask. Just ask. Just from personal experience, I found that knowing the truth and getting over with the pain is a lot better than denying the truth and suffering through it. Even though it took a long time for me to actually learn that lesson, I'm a little bit of a slow learner sometimes. But the main thing is when you start to ask questions, when you start to become curious about your life, about what's working, what's not, oftentimes as you get closer to the truth, fear will start to pop up. Or when you start to ask yourself, what is the truth? You'll start to feel some fear around it. And the thing about fear is that fear will use everything that you know against you. It'll use all of your experience. It will pull out the big guns. It will use your religion against you, your friends against you, your philosophies. It'll use your insecurities and your rational and irrational thinking. It'll use all of those resources to keep you exactly where you are. And if you're not happy where you are, then this is a huge problem. So it's a good idea to get really curious when fear shows its little fuzzy head. And I say fuzzy head just because I don't want to demonize any emotion because it's really not helpful. All of these emotions are meant to be messengers and they're meant to tell us things. Fear can be good when used in a practical way. Fear is just an indicator that something may or may not be safe. But remember, it's not always a risk to your survival, but the risk to the ego's survival, which is your concept of being right, your concept of the way the world is, or the way you think the world is around you. If you don't hold on to these beliefs, if you decide to let go, well then, what do you really know in this world? It becomes all uncertain. So sometimes people do want to hold on to their beliefs because it's too scary to explore outside of that. When you're observing your fear, the question is this a rational fear? Is it an irrational fear? Such as, should I cut through this dark alley on my way home at 3 in the morning when I see someone who might have a switchblade on them and maybe they're wearing brass knuckles and frothing at the mouth? Probably don't want to go down that way. Maybe choose another path, right?
That man, he's frothing at the mouth.
I think that's reasonable. But if it's, are you afraid of speaking up? Are you afraid of standing up? Are you afraid of sharing your truth? Yeah. The fear is that it's going to challenge the status quo. It's going to challenge the way things are right now. But is it really going to harm you? Not necessarily. And is likely, very likely, that freedom is on the other side of that. So this is where it gets really juicy. Really juicy. So anytime fear comes up, you should get really curious, and your little antenna should go dee, 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 dee. Something's here. And generally speaking, you should go right towards it. You should look fear right in the eye and go, okay, what is it I'm afraid of? And if change is what I want, then I gotta go to the other side of it. The thing that I found when it comes to fear is oftentimes it is a paper dragon. Feeling your emotions, fear of change, fear of vulnerability, fear of visibility. Huge fear of mine. Fear of being boring. All valid fears, but paper dragons.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me.
And in that moment when you're really scared and you're thinking about it and your heart rate starts going up and you start sweating and you're looking this thing in the eye and you're like, oh my god, 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 oh my god. And then it's like you put on the glasses, right? And then you're like, what? This little thing? And you realize this fear, it's fuzzy, it's cute, it's harmless, it's got big eyes. Then you wonder, why was I even afraid of this in the first place? It's really just fear of the unknown. And without the truth, there is no basis for anything to be grounded in reality, and you won't know where to move forward next. So, first and foremost, the willingness to seek the truth and know the truth, because ultimately, that's what's going to set you free. It's going to be the first step to being honest with yourself and finding out what's going on in your life. How do you do an honest evaluation? Does fear have you hiding? Are you stuck in a holding pattern? Are you not making moves because you're afraid of making the wrong decision? Are you afraid of who you are? Are you afraid of who you aren't? And so that's really what we're here to explore. Who are you? Really, like, who are you? At a soul level. What do you want out of life? What's your next step if you're spinning your wheels in the mud? How do you get clarity? And that's what we're here to find out. What is the truth? Are you ready? Good. I rely on your comments. I would love to hear what you have to say about the video. If this is helping you, let me know. If it's not helping you, let me know. If you have questions, if there's a question you want to ask that I can answer, I will answer it in one of my videos, or I'll get back to you. You can message me here, you can message me on Instagram or on my Facebook page. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for watching and subscribe!